Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the Lord always. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the Lord always. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Wonder where I got that from. Wonder what book that came out of. That's what I got up singing this morning. And my wife says, why are you singing this morning? In so many words. I said to myself, well, down home, we used to have a saying. Somebody said, why are you whistling so much? Whistling to keep from crying. So why do I get up singing a lot of mornings? Especially during election time. I get up singing to keep from crying. Lord, have mercy. Rejoice in the Lord always. But what I told my wife was, it's generally got something to do with what's going on the inside. Not what's going on the outside. I'm not trying to impress anybody else. I'm not trying to change anybody else. Look, I'm trying to survive this thing. Because I want to be not only a survivor, I want to be a first responder in what's coming. I don't just want to be prepared and ready. I want to be equipped and loaded. You hear what I'm saying? And the book says, when you fall into all kinds of trials, rejoice. When people lie about you and say all manner of evil against you, the man said, jump up and down and shout and leap for joy, rejoice and sing praises to God. Why? Because the joy of the Lord empowers you. The joy of the Lord is my strength, don't you see? So when I found myself praying this morning and the Lord said, I'm just kind of summarizing our conversation. But it did come to mind while I was praying early this morning. People calling on me about this election. And you got this planned parenthood. Because all they do is parrot what comes from the hoods, the greedy, selfish, self-serving hoods that just parrot what the ones ahead of them said and make money off of murdering innocent babies. And y'all get together and you sing, God bless America. And the Lord says one word, why? So you can kill more, murder more of my babies? He said the babies are mine. He says that in the book. If you don't believe it, Google it and find it in there. You got a Bible program if you don't buy one. The babies belong to God. And you just murdering them. He might as well have said what he said through some of the old prophets, as good as said to them, as the spirit of it was, go ahead. Go ahead. Murder my babies. Why don't you, instead of throwing their little limbs in the dumpster when you cut them up in the womb and pull them out, why don't you just take them home and fry them in a skillet and eat them like your heathen ancestors did? You gonna come up in my presence and claim my name and call on me to bless America and bless you? And you let them get partially born? No, let me tell you what you need to do with those. You need to just pull those out like we used to do on the pig farm. And you need to take their little tiny feet, tie them up by their feet and gut them and cut them and eat them like the cannibals you are. Heap up to yourself judgment upon judgment and fire upon fire, because I'm coming, is what God says. And you gonna pay. All of you who are murdering my babies, you gonna pay. So I come to tell you how to vote. Coming out of all of that, I'm gonna tell you who to vote for. You can't get your leaders to tell you who to vote for. I'll tell you who to vote for. Vote for the human. Now, I'm not going to rock your republic or demolish your democracy. I'm not going to tell you not to vote or vote for God in some general mystical way. I'm going to tell you to go to the poll and dance at the poll with the human leader that's going to stop this government from murdering my innocent babies and drinking their life blood to feed their lust while they run around with their loose screwing in every direction and demolishing and destroying and killing everything that slows it down. Vote for the human that's going to have the fire in their belly and God in their ear to stand up and stop it. Lead a nation to stop it. Put a stop to it. And maybe I'll bring my protection back. And maybe I'll bring the economy back. And maybe I'll bring the production back. Maybe the economy will come back in order, and I'll be able to prosper you like I desire to do. I made you. I created you. But you need to know this. Just like the project mothers. You know what a project is? You know what a mother is. A mother with a project attitude. I'm going to tell you what they've been telling their kids for generations. When they were disobedient and wouldn't listen to their mama, they've been saying, "You better listen to me, boy. I brought you in this world. I can take you out." God says, you need to listen to me. I created you in this world, America. And I can absolutely take you down and take you out, bud. You dishonor me. You have dishonored me for decades. In your disobedience, in your haughtiness, your arrogance, your religious heathendom. I'm taking you down. And you got one alternative, and it's not to quote 2 Chronicles 7:14 and talk about revival. You better go to your knees, you better go to your nose on the ground. And you better cry out. You know what you need to cry out for? If you want my quick response, you cry out to me. Not in generality, not just off up somewhere in the mystical by and by heaven. I'm living in a reborn Israel. And I wrote it in my word. The nation that will not serve reborn Israel will perish. Yes, I said, the nation or kingdom or culture that will not serve my Israel, my true Israel, my faithful Israel, my reborn Israel, now called the Messianics, that nation shall be utterly destroyed. Look it up in the book. It's in there. You don't need to be pious and religious. You don't need to squall a bunch of crybaby tears that don't mean squat. You need to turn around, change your attitude, and go to blessing Israel. That's where I'm centered. That's where I'm living. That's where my headquarters is set up to change the globe, to change the expression of it, to change the shape of it. I'm going to make it back just like I wanted it. I'm going to put the Garden of Eden back, except I'm extending it all over the world. And I'm starting in Israel. I'm doing it now. And if you want my blessings, you better go and do the pole dance in that voting booth with somebody that's got the fire in their spirit and got me in their ear that has heard my word that says, if you bless Israel, you're going to be blessed. If you don't bless Israel, you're going to be cursed. Oh, and your haughtiness, you've thrown that in my face for centuries. So you best vote for somebody that's going to lead this country to quit murdering my babies, that's going to lead this country to serving the reborn nation of Israel that is reborn by one Yeshua, Messiah, born in Bethlehem, baby. That's the one I'm talking about. King of Israel. Lion of the tribe of Judah that's roaring to come back to earth with a glorified body and a brand new family out of heaven, a bride coming out of heaven. That's where you serve me. That's where I live. That's who you vote for. Somebody's got the fire in their belly, that's got the grit and steel in their guts that I give them. My fire and my guts, my justice fire that's burning, my righteousness that's burning in the resurrected body of Yeshua that comes into everyone who called on his name, trusting in him, comes to live inside them. I come to live inside them. And I raise up my leaders, and I set my leaders in authority, with my authority and my fire in their belly and in their guts, and the steel in their guts that runs and burns up their backbone. and gives them a backbone to stand up and lead a country that I have formed on a constitution that I have given, and will say by the authority of the God who gave that constitution and formed this country, Iran shall not have a nuclear weapon, shall not have nuclear facilities, shall not have squat. That's who you do the pole dance with. You know what I'm talking about. We pole danced as citizens of America with everybody that showed us what we wanted to see, gave us what we wanted, what we lusted after. Payday. Fire day. Fire day is coming. Find that human that's going to stop the government from murdering my babies, that's going to stop Iran from getting a bomb, that's going to stop dishonoring Israel and dishonoring my name and dishonoring my kingdom.